always pushing health, wealth, better understanding self, and giving praise to the Most High. So check this out. In this video, we are letting the mayor, Monroe Nichols, speaks on his reparations plan for the city of Tulsa, Oklahoma, aka Black Wall Street. And he's gonna speak about that, and we're gonna listen to what you know his his plans of action is, and we're gonna see they spoke about this being duplicated in other states and other areas. We're gonna break it down, listen to what he says, and then we're going to see how we can implement the same strategy, for everywhere, so justice can be made to the people. Let's get it.
Aid for the city of Tulsa right here. Possibly none more important than the Road to Repair initiative. So tell me, because I know there's a lot of different things I wanted us to cover, but the biggest thing, the Road to Repair.
Yeah.
Tell us about that initiative, if you would.
Yeah, yeah. It's we spent a lot of time thinking about how do we bring together all the great ideas that descendants have had over the years, these recommendations to improve relationships across the city, to unify this community, but most importantly, repair the harm as a result of the Tulsa Race Massacre. And we also were looking for ways that we could do it that was less divisive than maybe some of the other ways that were out there. And so the pathway that I became very passionate about was the pursuit of a private charitable trust, the Greenwood Trust. And we took in a lot of the ideas that descendants have presented us with, the Beyond the Apology Commission, the $24 million in housing and home ownership resources. There's a lot of folks who said we need to be investing back into the physical infrastructure in the Greenwood District. And so the $60 million into those place-based infrastructure investments also sits there. And yesterday I did an interview, a national interview, and they played a clip of something that Mother Fletcher said when they asked her what did she miss out on the most as a result of the massacre. And she said in education. And so that's the reason why we're investing in scholarships and we're investing in business grants and no interest loans, so we can really work to bring back what was special about the Greenwood District, giving folks a shot, entrepreneurs, business owners, to grow their business, do it right here in Tulsa, and do it all privately funded.
How much does it mean to you to take something that happened long ago, so long ago and so bad, and make it right now, or start to make it right?
Yeah, I think it's going to be tough to make it right, but it's the reason why we've done the things that I mentioned. It's the reason why we released the 45,000 pages of documents, the reason why we continue to work to bring closure to families through the Graves investigation, because I think we're a much different, I know we're a much different city than we were in 1921. And I think there's part of what happened at that moment in our city's history that's always kind of been a stain or a black eye on our community. This is also about Tulsa overall, moving past all that, right? So sometimes, and I said the other day, there's something special about a community that is willing and has the courage to even look backwards 104 years and say, we're going to do something about that.
So Tulsa leading the way, so other towns and states, I guess, are probably looking up to you all to see how this is going to go.
Yeah, I think so. Like, we're going to spend the next year really planning on how do we, one, raise the private capital to invest in these things, but also set up really, really strong programs, because the goal is not simply that we just invest in things blindly. The goal is that we do it and people are much better off because of it, right? And so I think that's where the real lesson's going to be, that we raise this private capital, we have it directed in areas that are going to make a difference, and we're going to change the trajectory of a lot of folks' lives, which is also going to be a model on how you do this across the country. I don't think that you have to fear bad things. I don't think you can ignore them. And I think for a long time, almost 70, 80 years, the race massacre wasn't even talked about. And now that we know, we're really just kind of left with a decision to make. Are you going to do something about it? Do you have the courage to do something about it? I think Tulsa's a courageous city.
And finally, for me, in addition to it being basically not one and done, but to continue a legacy for generations to come, what does that mean to you to be a part of this initiative?
I think about what would have happened if the massacre would have never happened. What would that meant for our city, right? All across our city, we would have probably been one of the strongest, most economically diverse cities in the country as it relates to everybody doing well. I think this is going to take Tulsa and send us on a trajectory that we can barely even imagine what it looks like. And I think that's going to be a really cool deal.
And one that you can be proud of.
Absolutely. I think I also want to encourage people, you know, we're raising this money privately. And if there are folks out there that want to get involved, maybe you're passionate about scholarships, maybe you're passionate about homeowner, maybe you're passionate about a lot of things. I want people, no matter who they are, to feel like they can engage. As part of if they want to invest, but also just be a part of the conversation. I think for far too long, the conversation around the race massacre has gotten into a place where it's been maybe, you know, kind of colored by politics in some ways. It's a historical fact. We now are facing that historical fact as a community. We can talk to each other about that. We can learn new things. We can see different perspectives. And I think that's also part of the process of unifying.
I like that this isn't a political movement, it's a Tulsa movement.
That's right. That's right. That's right. You know, I think one of the great things about having a private charitable trust is that we don't ever have to talk about politics as it relates to this ever again. We can just talk about people. We can talk about moving this community forward. We can talk about the fact that we all, in some ways, can identify with families of victims that don't even know what happened to them. So we don't have to worry about what is under the ground, but we know we have to pursue what it is because folks deserve to know. The same thing goes. We don't have to fear the things that are unknown because we're being transparent all the information that we have, and we can make investments that's going to set us on a course to be what I truly believe is the greatest city in the country by every imaginable measure, and we can do that together.
Yeah, so there you go. So you see Monroe Nichols speak on, and I like, he sound official to me. He sound like he on code. He's just trying to do what's right. The 105 million do seem a little light to me, but I understand that it's a private trust, so they're gathering the money. They're coming to people to get the money together. It's not like the city is totally paying for it, but it is coming out. It is something that he's doing and holding the city accountable. Um, they spoke on this about this being duplicated, and that's where we got to break down everything, the structure of how they getting the money, how they putting it in trust. I like that he having it in a trust, but uh, we wanted to see the transparency and make sure the city, the states hold the end of their bargain up like they supposed to do. We seen with the 40 acres and the mule, them not holding their end of the bargain. So we got to make sure we hold them accountable. But I haven't smelt nothing, fishy in this. It doesn't seem like he's just trying to get the money for the people. But we will see how this goes along. I think everybody should have been paid. It's crazy that, you know, after everybody passed, that now they're trying to get justice for them. But we also have to, if y'all know on my channel, I always speak about the injustice that's done to the community that nobody can talk about because it's the higher ups and the J. Edgar Hoovers and those guys. But I talked about an instance where in Anniston, Alabama, Johnny Cochran sued the city and got a $300 million settlement. The town and the residents, because their water was poisoned, they got about 150 million, and it was 18,000 of them. So they got like 9,000 apiece, and the money was gone. Um, Instead of them having 150 million and having a kind of like a fund and them growing this, a trust fund, I think it would have been better for everybody and just better in general and good money management skills. But we see everybody want to cut and just want money, and it's just divided we fall. So that's just a analogy that I'm trying to let people understand on how previously we let big lump sums of money just get broken down to where it was, pretty much nothing. So let me know what y'all think about this in the comment section, man. I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace and love.
You are totally dependent on other people to take care of your needs because you don't have those roots sunk into the ground. To have a community, you must have three things to have a community in it. You must have a wholly independent economic structure that can provide goods, service, products, and things for your own people, and jobs and tax bases for your own people. You should at least control four basic things. You should be trying to control water, food, medicine, and energy to be able to survive.
Here we got Mr. Pollock. He had a cornfield. He took advantage of a free water test from us, and this is what we found in this water. We found sulfur, we found hardness, and we solved these problems with an easy fix of 2 tanks. So get your free water test today. Stay blessed. Click the link below.